Oh, oh boy, you see this right here? The Flames and Bruins late-night Rasmus Andersson trade that we spoke about yesterday? Well, turns out that was a lie. Take a look at this. The full trade details have been revealed. The Rasmus Andersson trade involves Vegas, not Boston. No extension guaranteed, no Mason Lohrei first-round pick package from the Maple Leafs via the Boston Bruins. This was not going down. Instead, it is Andersson to Vegas. Take a look at the details over here. As tweeted out by various NHL insiders, the Golden Knights have traded for Rasmus Andersson about 40 minutes ago, pending the trade call. By the way, just quick aside, 530,000 views and 1.6k likes in 40 minutes? I feel like hockey Twitter has fallen off. Just me, speculation, something that I've seen. Anyways, let's go out there and take a look at some of these other details. Elliot Friedman had some return tweets over there. No extension for Rasmus Andersson, so that is a really big part of the conversation that we talked about at length when it came to the Boston Bruins and what it was that they wanted to do. They wanted to make sure they weren't just getting the last year of a $4.55 million Rasmus Andersson. And the idea floating around at the time was that Nikita Zadorov and Elias Lindholm were going to convince Rasmus Andersson, yeah, it's actually great in Boston. Come over here. We can have a solid team and it's a good place and we can win. And apparently Rasmus was like, okay, yeah, I'm okay to signing an extension with Boston. But now he gets traded to Vegas, and there is no extension in place. Now, of course, Rasmus Andersson has a modified no trade, so whether or not he had to verify a move to Vegas remains to be seen. Whether or not Boston was on or off his list as well, I guess we'll never know. But now the Vegas Golden Knights are getting themselves a 29-year-old right-handed defenseman stud, 6'1", 203, a guy who is on pace for a career year, 30 points in 48 games played. He is on pace to pretty much doing the same thing that he has done in the 21-22 seasons and 22-23 seasons, 50 and 49 points respectively, although those Flames teams were a lot better than the Flames team that he is on right now, or he was on, I guess. Rasmus Andersson has finally allowed his body to get back up to speed. He has had a multitude of pains and discomforts over the years. You can see that he's played 79, 78, and 81 games, but you could very well debate that he was playing these seasons not at the best of health. Now, going over to a team like Vegas, that is also pretty stacked up there, I'd say it's reasonable to assume that Rasmus Andersson doesn't get worked in the same way that he did in Calgary, thus giving him more bite, more pizzazz, and just a higher level of offensive productivity and overall efficiency. Now, let's dive into the actual trade details. Take a look at this first. Pierre LeBrun tweeted out that Boston had permission to talk extension with Andersson, but was not able to get one done. Vegas didn't have that permission, so no extension negotiated yet. But given that Vegas was top of the list for Andersson last summer, I can't imagine there should be any issue for Vegas to eventually get that done with Andersson. And this reply goes out there and says, yeah, we didn't extend Hanifin until weeks later either. So there you go. Vegas gets everybody that's good. Everybody that's available, Vegas ends up getting them. Mark Stone, Max Pacioretty, Jack Eichel, Noah Hanifin, Alex Pietrangelo, now Rasmus Andersson, Mitch Marner. It always happens. Tomas Hertl, even. Everybody goes to Vegas, man. Now let's actually talk about the deal and the return, because Frank Saravelli tweeted it all out. Rasmus Andersson, 50% salary retained. So nope, he's not making 4.55 against Vegas's cap. He's making 2.2 something against Vegas's cap. So pretty cheap defenseman. Top pairing caliber guy. Only 2.2 million. And heading over to the Calgary Flames, you have Zach Whitecloud, a 2027 Vegas first-round pick that is top 10 protected, a 2028 Vegas conditional second-round pick that can become a 2028 first as long as Vegas wins the Cup, and the rights to defenseman Abram Wiebe. So, I will say, this is a very similar package to what the Boston Bruins were reportedly giving up in this late-night trade from a few nights ago. The idea of a Mason Lohrei plus a first, plus another younger piece. It's essentially the same deal, but swap out the younger piece for a second and Abram Wiebe, keep the first, and then swap Mason Lohrei for Zach Whitecloud. Whitecloud, to his credit, is fine. Right-handed guy, 29 years old. He's got 7 points in 47 games this season, on pace for 12 points, but that's roughly the range that he has been in the past few years. Whitecloud has been very versatile. He is not an offensive point producer like Rasmus Andersson is, but he fills up the roster spot that Calgary now has with a departure of Rasmus Andersson. It's a very decent move for them, especially when you consider the fact that they're getting another first-round pick and potentially a second first-round pick if Vegas wins the Cup. Calgary also owns Vegas's 2026 firsts. It could be 26, 27, or 28. Depending on the top 10 protection of the 2027 first-round pick. Oh my goodness, Vegas is really making sure that their plans beyond 2026 are protected. Just in case they start sucking in 26-27, they have that top 10 protection. So there are a number of hurdles that Calgary is going to have to go over in order for them to get these picks done if Vegas starts to suck. This is essentially insurance that Vegas is going to be good, they're going to continue to have success, and they're going to continue being a destination for all of these top-tier players. Let's go out there and talk about Abram Wiebe, also getting sent over in this deal to Calgary. He's a University of North Dakota left-handed defenseman, 22 years old, 6'3", drafted in the 7th round, 2022 by the Vegas Golden Knights. Mission, BC. Okay, so he's from the same area that Carly Rae Jepsen is from. Awesome. Wiebe is playing for Nodak. He's got 14 points in 24 games. He was part of the Chilliwack Chiefs and was their captain in the BCHL, so Junior A hockey here in British Columbia, before heading over to Nodak. Pretty interesting profile here for Abram Wiebe. We're not going to guarantee any sort of NHL superstardom out of Wiebe, but if he can carve out a decent career for himself in the NCAA and inevitably become a good pro, either in the AHL or the NHL, then this can be a really good acquisition for the Calgary Flames too. I mean, drafted by Vegas, obviously, that's a pretty good feat in and of itself, but now, getting traded over for Rasmus Andersson alongside of Zach Whitecloud and a bunch of firsts, that's a pretty notable claim to fame too. So with all that in mind, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the failed Boston Bruins trade. They tried to extend Andersson and get the trade done, but the extension could not be reached, which is why now we are seeing Rasmus Andersson getting traded to Vegas. 50% salary retained. It's a huge trade. First-round picks coming back. Zach Whitecloud is a Calgary Flame. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about this trade here between the Flames and the Golden Knights? I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on. And bye.